Good morning, students. Today's topic is Partograph. The Partograph was first introduced in 1954 by Friedman by graphically depicting the relationship of dilatation of cervix in centimeters and duration of labor in hours. A sigmoid curve is obtained after stabilizing their relation. It is otherwise known as cervical dilatation curve or cervicograph or partograph. After that, then Philpott and Kessel in 1972 developed Friedman concept by adding the action and alert lines. In 1994, WHO added details of mother and fetus to make it more informative. It is called as composite partograph and use it as a tool to get complete information about progress of labor and its deviation from the normal course of labor. So the new definition of the cartograph is a composite graphical record of cervical dilatation and descent of fetus head against duration of labor in hours, along with information about fetal and maternal condition, which all are recorded on the single sheet of paper. The partograph should be plotted only when the active phase of labor starts. That is when cervical dilatation is 4 cm or more and she has at least 2 good uterine contractions in every 10 minutes. In primary gravida, the latent phase is often long, about 8 hours, during which effacement occurs. The cervical dilatation averaging only 0.35 cm per hour. In multipary, the latent phase is short, about 5 hours, and effacement and dilatation occur simultaneously. Because of its variable duration of latent phase of cervical dilatation, it is difficult to plot over the partograph. So it is removed from the new partograph. The component of the partograph are first one is patient identification, time, fetal heart rate, state of membranes and color of liquor, cervical dilatation and descent of the head, uterine contraction, oxytocin, drug and fluid, maternal blood pressure and pulse, urine analysis, temperature record. This is a picture of a real used partograph. So first one is patient information, which is mentioned at the top of the graph. And here registration number, date and time of the admission, name of patient, age, gravidity, parentage, LNP, EDD, POG, means pregnancy of gestation, date and time of rupture of membrane and duration of labor should be mentioned at the top of the graph. Time. Each of the small boxes of the partograph represent a half an hour interval. That is, a small box represents a 30 minutes of time. And zero time is given for the spontaneous labor, which is the time of admission in the labor ward. And for induced abortion, zero time is given when the induction is given. Now the fetal heart rate. Fetal heart rate record at every 30 minutes interval initially, and then it is recorded at every 15 minutes interval in later first stage of labor or following rupture of membrane. Then at every 5 minutes interval in second stage of labor. And the count should be made for complete 1 minute. Fetal heart rate along with its rhythm regularly should be noted. The observation should be made immediately following uterine contraction. Normal rate, normal fetal heart rate ranges from 110 to 150 per minute. In this image, the fetal heart rate shown as a dotted dots, and then these are joined to each other. State of membranes and color of the lichen. If the membrane is intact, then it is marked as I, and when the membrane is ruptured, then the color of the lichen should be noted, and then it is marked C if the lichen is clear, and if the meconium is stained, lichen is stained with the meconium, and B if the lichen is stained with the blood. Then we mentioned these notations on the lighter column. Molding of the fetal head. What is molding? Molding is the adjustment of the bones of the skull while passing through the pelvis way. And when it is marked as 0, when the bones are separated and sutures can be easily felt, then it is marked as 0. And when bones are just touching to each other, then it is marked as +1. And when bones are overlapping but can be reduced, then it is marked as +2. And when the bones are severely overlapping and irreducible, then we mark +3 of the score. Now, the cervical dilatation and descent of the head. In a partograph, the labor process is divided into latent phase and active phase. Latent phase that ends when the cervix is 4 centimeters dilated, and active phase starts with the cervical dilatation of 4 centimeters or more. And also an alert line and action line also shown in this image. Then the alert line is start at the end of the latent phase, that is from the 4 centimeter of the cervical dilatation, and ends with full dilatation of the cervix, that is 10 centimeter, which should be done in 6 hours duration. Means in 6 hours it should be 10 centimeter. If the cervical dilatation rate is 1 centimeter per hour, which is normal in the primary. And action line is drawn 4 centimeter away to the right of the alert line. Means this is the action line and it is drawn from 4 hours. 4 hours from the alert line. This is the 4-hour duration and it is start from here and it goes like this. An interval of 4 hours is allowed to diagnose delay in the active phase, and then appropriate intervention is done. In a normal labor, the cervicograph, that is cervical dilatation, should be either on the alert line or to the left of it. Means in a normal labor, the cervicograph should be left to the alert line. Means like this. This is the normal labor, showing the progress of the normal labor. And labor is considered abnormal when it crosses alert line and falls on zone 2. Then it need to be critically assessed. Means it is abnormal when it is lying in the zone 2. If the normal labor line is fall on this zone 2, then it is going to be abnormal center. When it crosses the action line and falls on zone 3, the case should be reassessed by a senior person, and decision is to be made either for termination of labor by cesarean section or for augmentation of labor, that is by amniotomy and or oxytocin. Abdominal palpation for descent of fetal head in terms of fifth felt above the brim is to be used. Station of the head, that is degree of descent of head, marked by circle at every hour. You can see the descent of head is shown in the dots, shown as the dots in this graph, and which is progress, that is 5 steps, starting from the 3 and going down. 0. It comes in 0 in 4 hours. contraction. The squares in the vertical column are shaded according to duration and intensity. This column, these vertical columns are shaded according to the duration and intensity. The number of contraction in 10 minutes and duration of each contraction in seconds are recorded in the partograph. Partograph is charted every half an hour. Contraction duration less than 20 seconds, that is said to be mild contraction, and if between the 20 and 40 seconds, then it is called as moderate contraction, and if more than 40 seconds, then it is strong contraction, which is needed. So in first 10 minutes, only one contraction, which is weak, so it is shown as a dotted square, and after 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and 30 minutes, after 90 minutes, there are two contractions in 10 minutes, and which is also weak. After that, in 10 minutes, two contractions. In 10 minutes, in this three contraction, which is moderate in intensity, and after that, there are strong contraction, which are first in 3 in 10 minutes, 4 in 10 minutes, and 5 in 10 minutes. So these are showing the strong contraction. Now drugs and fluids. The record of all drugs and fluids administered, their starting time, dose and duration should be recorded and shown in this oxytocin rate, dose, and their dose in drops per minute in below rate. Commonly used drugs like epidocin, buscopan, clotapherin, oxytocin, detergent, and prostaglandins are commonly used in the active phase of labor. Concentration of oxytocin right in the upper box and dose is right in the in the lower box. Milli international unit per minute. Okay, this is the recorded graph. Maternal blood pressure and pulse. Blood pressure record at every 2 hours in vertical line, and pulse at every 30 minutes shown here as a dot. So you can see in this image, you can see clearly. This is the pulse, recording of the pulse, and this is the upper and lower limit of the blood pressure. Means 100 is the systolic blood pressure and 70 is the diastolic blood pressure. And after that, there is 120 is the systolic blood pressure and 80 is the normal blood pressure. So like this vertical lines, we are showing blood pressure, and by dots we are showing the pulse rate like this. Urine analysis and temperature record. So the temperature record should be done every 4 hours, and urine output and dipstick testing done for protein and acetone and glucose at the regular interval when the urine is passes out. And also the protein, acetone and glucose is checked by dipstick testing in the labor room, and it is mentioned in this row. So this is the image of the some partograph which are used like in this. This is alert line, action line, and this is a descent of the head. And you can see the labor is going in the abdominal side. So also another partograph in which the latent wave is also showing. So what are the advantages of the partograph? A single sheet of paper provides all necessary information at a glance. No need to record labor events repeatedly. It can predict deviation from normal progress of labor early, so appropriate step could be taken in time. It facilitates handover procedure. It has reduced the incidence of prolonged labor and cesarean section rate. There is improvement in maternal morbidity, perinatal morbidity, and mortality. What are the disadvantages of the partograph? It assumes that all women progress at same rate, so influence intervention rate. Clinical findings have subjective variation. No availability of printed partograph. We have to make it according to our institution. It requires a skilled healthcare worker who can fill and interpret the report. Thank you.